an update. So earlier I reverted the BIOS back to the gateway BIOS, but the latest version, which is what I was using previously. Previously I could get the sound to work in DOS, so I was using General MIDI and Soundblaster for Duke 3D. When I was using the MR BIOS, Mr. BIOS, I'm not really sure how you say it. I always say it's Mr. BIOS, but I think it's actually MR BIOS. I just could not get the Soundblaster PCI 128 to work in pure DOS. I could get it to work in a window in Windows 98 with the legacy driver set up. I could get everything to work, but when I switched into DOS mode, it just wouldn't work. So the General MIDI would work, so the sound card actually initialized, but I kept getting IRQ errors. Tried absolutely everything that I could possibly think of, and nothing worked at all. So obviously the MR BIOS, it's really advanced. It's got a lot of settings. Probably the biggest thing really is the size of the hard drive. So I think it's up to 127 gigabytes that you can use. The downside to it is it doesn't support CD booting. Obviously you've got the facility to just put in Smart Boot Manager or something like that to boot from a CD. It's not really a big deal, to be honest. So I thought, well, I knew that I got it to work previously with the older BIOS, the gateway BIOS. So I thought I'd revert the BIOS and try it again. Today I've literally installed Windows 98 about 6 times and set all the drivers up. Lots of problems, but I've now got to the point where I've actually got it working. So this is using the gateway BIOS, and I'll just show you the setup and the settings I've got for G3D. Sorry about the camera. Try and keep it still. So you can see there I've got it set as Soundblaster and General MIDI for the music. So I'll show you the music first. To be fair, that I've never really had a problem with that at all anyway, so but it sounds great. And then here's the Soundblaster. So that's now fully working. So let's just quit out of that. There we go. So if I just run Duke 3D now, and everything should work, fingers crossed. Should have sound effects and music. Oh, there's the music working.
Let's rock. Damn, those alien bastards gonna pay for shooting up my ride.
Playing this one-handed. But you can see it plays really well, and to be honest, this is set at 640 by 480, and it's really smooth, to be honest. It's great, really good. I'm just really happy that I've been able to sort it out. So I was looking at other sound cards and I thought, you know what, I wanted to try to get this Soundblaster PCI 128 working. I've actually got about 6 of them, so I need to start using them on something. And this is working great now. And you know, I was thinking, well, I could just use it in Windows and run DOS games from the command prompt, but I really wanted it like in pure DOS, and it's working now, so that's great. So next steps really for this computer, I'm just going to take everything apart. So on the back, loads of rust and stuff which I need to get rid of. So I'm thinking of taking that plate out that's there, all the PCI and ISA slots, sanding those down, and I'm actually going to spray paint it, I think, just to make it look a bit nicer. The other thing that I've got to do is have a look at the power supply. I'm just going to take that apart and see what state it's in. I really don't want to switch it on connected to the motherboards. As you can see there, I've got like a pretty much a new power supply there, 600 watt, and I'm using a converter here to 80. So as you can see, if you haven't seen one of these before, usually on these old motherboards they actually have a switch at the front that links to the power supply, but it's a main switch. With these little converters, there's actually just a little wire that bridges the green and the black wires, which switches the ATX power supply on. So to be fair, I prefer using it because, you know, the thought of running mains voltage and messing with that, like changing the switches out on the front, I don't like it, to be honest. Definitely think that, you know, it's better thing to do these days, and obviously a more modern power supply rather than a 20-30 plus years old power supply is a lot better to use, to be honest. But I'm going to have a look at the original one. I might need to recap. It's probably going to need a clean up. I mean, I'll just show you the back. Duke Nukem keeps telling me what am I waiting for. The power supply there, you can see, is quite rusty, so I need to have a look at that as well. But what I'm thinking is I've got some primer and spray paint, so I think I'm going to spray all of these metal surfaces. I don't know whether to do the full back of the case yet. I might just do like the inserts here and the PCI slots, maybe the power supply as well if I end up using that. I've actually bought some black paint, so it'll look pretty nice. So if I do decide to use this modern power supply, it's already black, so it'll be fine anyway. So yeah, I mean, there's going to be a big cleanup. I've literally got to take the whole thing apart. So you can see this. Luckily, all the plastic parts in the case are just screwed in, so I can completely dismantle it, and I'll just have like the metal frame inside to be able to work with, and obviously clean all the plastic stuff as well. One thing I'm thinking of doing, obviously that's the main thing for me, is the Gateway logo, which is awesome. It's quite scratched, so I think I'm going to touch that up. I've got some gold paint, so I might redo that. Not sure what to do about drives. Let me just quit out Duke. Duke Nukem, you doing my head in? There we go, a bit quieter now. So I'm not really sure what to do on drives. Obviously this is a 1996 machine, so DVD really wasn't a thing at the time. The supplied CD-ROM that was in it was actually 6 times CD-ROM. I haven't even tested it, to be honest. As you can see, I've got loads of other drives on top. The reason why that cable's there is I was just testing lining, playing a CD earlier. It's fine. But I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to go for a DVD drive or just keep it more period correct, really, and put CD-ROM in. So I might retro bright the CD-ROM that's in there, or I've got loads of drives anyway, to be honest. I might just swap it out for just a standard CD-ROM. Something maybe slightly more modern, so it's more compatible with CDRs and stuff like that. Obviously earlier CD-ROMs have issues with CDRs. Well, some of them do. Certainly if you start getting back to like 6-speed, 4-speed, 2-speed, they really struggle, and a lot of them only support 650 meg CDs as well, not 700. So that's another consideration as well. So yeah, basically next steps is strip it all apart, take the case apart, and then give it a real good clean up. I'm also thinking, what can I put in the case at the top as well? Obviously I've got a lot of drive bays. Just looks a little bit sad having such a big computer with one drive in. So I'm thinking, what can I do with that? I don't know. I'll just take you underneath my desk here. You can see there, I've actually got a nice creative drive. It's infra, So there's a little remote control. What I like about that is obviously you can completely control CD playback by just the buttons on the front. As time went on, I think with CD drives, DVD drives, they put less and less on the front. So originally you'd have like a headphone out, you'd have a volume slider and play, sometimes like skip as well. You can see this one, it's pretty much got everything: play, pause, forward, back, and if you hold stop it ejects as well. And then you've got the digital volume control there. So there's a lot of stuff on there, but I don't know, I might put that in there as well. Not 100% yet. I think the infra drives, that particular one, which is the 1800, came out, I think it was really early 1997, so not too far away from this computer really, in terms of age. I do like to try and keep things to the age of the machine where I can. I know obviously you can't always do that, and reliability of some stuff as well. You sometimes need to go a little bit more modern, but that's what I'm trying to do with this really. So I think the PCI 128 was 97, 98, so it's not too far off. I think this gateway would have come with a Creative Vibra 16 card, which they aren't that great anyway, so there's definitely more features on this PCI 128, and now I've got it working in DOS. I've got everything really. So yeah, there's the update. I'll go off and start taking it all apart, I suppose. Thanks, bye.